Hi everyone. So I'm here just to talk to you about student finance and how to apply to Student Finance England in 2021. First things first, you are entitled to two different types of loan, as I'm sure you'll know. So the first is tuition fees, which are £9,250. They go straight from student finance to your university, and you are entitled to have the entire cost of your course, so your tuition fees, paid for by student finance. The second is the maintenance loan, and how much you actually end up getting will depend on a few things. So it will depend on where you decide to move to for university, if you decide to move at all, and it will also depend on your household income. Importantly, the maintenance loan goes straight from student finance to you, so it's for you to spend on whatever you want. If you have a look at this table and go to the left-hand column, as you'll see, the lower that your household income is, the more maintenance loan you'll be entitled to. As you move down the left-hand column and the household income goes up, you'll notice that the maintenance loan will go down. Okay, cool. If you don't already know how much money you're going to be entitled to, I'd recommend just having a look at the student finance calculator. So if you go to the gov.uk website and type in student finance calculator, click start now, follow the process, and it will tell you exactly how much maintenance loan you're going to be entitled to for your first year at university. So moving on to how to apply for student finance. Here's some important stuff. So you can apply for student finance now. It will take up to 6 weeks for your application to be processed, so it's really important to get it done early, okay? Because if you do it late, your first instalment might be late. There is a soft deadline, which is in late May. However, it is soft, meaning that you can apply after. You can actually apply up to 9 months after you first start university, but you really don't want to be doing this because you will be left without potentially funds for the first 9 months of university, which we don't want. You don't need a confirmed place at university to apply, you just have had to apply via UCAS, and it's a lot easier than you think. So, in terms of the processes to applying, there's 2 steps. The first is to go to the Student Finance England website, so the URL is just down the bottom of the screen there, so apply online for student finance. And the second is that you just want to create your account. So after you click create your account, they are going to provide you with a customer reference number, a CRN. I'd really recommend you write this down because you're going to need it to log into student finance in your second and third and potentially fourth year of university as well, okay? Just because you do need to reapply for student finance every year. However, just for the purposes of this, we're going to talk about applying in your first year. So you're going to need 3 things in order to apply for student finance. So the first is your passport, the second is your national insurance number, and the third are your bank details. So with your passport, you're just going to need to fill in this passport details form in order to prove your identity, okay? So you can then, after you've filled it out, email or send a physical copy of the form over to Student Finance. You don't need to send your passport itself for the purposes of this, okay? If you don't have a passport, you can send your birth certificate to Student Finance. It does have to be your original birth certificate, not a photocopy, and you should look to get it back within about 4 weeks of sending it off. If you are an EU student, you can send your non-UK passport to Student Finance, or you can send your identity card the first time that you apply. The second thing you're going to need is your national insurance number, okay? So if you know that you already have a national insurance number, you can find it on your P60, on letters about your tax, and on any payslips that you might have from a current or a previous employer. If you don't, you're going to need to sign up for one. So you just need to, again, go to the gov.uk website and apply national insurance number. The third and final thing that you're going to need are your bank details, okay? So you're going to need to provide your bank details to Student Finance so that they know when the time comes where the money is going, all right? So this has to be your account. It can't be a parent, a carer, or another adult. And this means that if you don't have a bank account that is in your name, you're going to need to create one. The bank account doesn't have to be a student account, but I would really recommend looking into the benefits of getting one, as it might help you later along the line. Okay, so as long as you've got these 3 things, it's literally just a case of creating an account and working through the website. The process is really, really easy, really, really simple, and it will only take about 30 minutes. So, last thing that you're going to need to be aware of, okay, is that you're going to need to prove how much your household income actually is. So this part is not for you so much as it is for your parents or your carers. So in order for Student Finance to work out how much maintenance loan you are going to receive, they might need to know your household's taxable income. So essentially what will happen is this. In your application, right at the end, you're going to be asked to provide contact details for the adults that you live with. So this would be a parent, a carer, or a guardian, okay? If you're currently living with a sibling who is an adult and is working, they don't need to submit their financial information, okay? It's just parents, carers, guardians. After you provide their contact details, they're going to receive an email from Student Finance after you finish your application. They will then have to create a Student Finance account, which is not the same as yours, so their own one, and they're going to be asked to evidence their income for the last tax year, which is 2019 to 20. So what they're going to need to be able to do this is similar to you, their national insurance number, their P60, payslip, tax return, okay? Then all they need to do is send photocopies of their financial information over to Student Finance. So what I'd really recommend you do is just let your parents know after you finish your application that they're going to be receiving an email from Student Finance in a few days, just so that they're aware that they need to do this, because if they don't submit their financial information, you won't get paid. So it's really important just to make your parents, your carers, guardians aware of the fact that they're going to receive an email from Student Finance. If you do need any help, the gov.uk website provides really helpful information about the different stages of the process, and do feel free to get in contact with me. So I'm Maya Curtis at suffolk.ac.uk. And I think that's more or less everything. So thank you for listening.